Hey, Tegan,
Hi, Ray.
do you want to hear a weird thing about ghost hunting gadgets?
Oh my God, yes. You could ask me that question anytime, day or night, regardless of whether we were actually recording a podcast, and the answer would be yes.
Excellent, because I have some facts to tell you
Mhm.
based on the perspective of a crew member that has worked on ghost hunting TV shows.
Wait, hang on. So, like a crew, and we're not talking like a boat crew, we're talking crew on a ghost hunting show or whatever.
As in production crew, as in I cannot reveal my sources.
Oh!
However, I have some intel.
Wait, wait. So this is not just something you found on Reddit or something like that. This is a source. This is a source
This is
source.
this is this is a conversation that I've had that has also been backed up by some things that I've found online from other people also. So
Whoa, I'm so
this is the
excited.
joys of working in television with freelance crews, Tegan. I get to tell you the best things. As soon as I found out about
Oh,
this, I was just like, yes.
you did in journalism and
I did
journalism.
I did in journalism for Weird Tech. So
Yes. All right. Please.
first things first, there is still, weirdly, not enough evidence either way to show if ghost hunting devices pick up any kind of spiritual activity. They can neither
Okay.
prove nor disprove the presence of ghosts. We are not
Okay.
there yet with the science.
I would have expected the existence hadn't been proven for sure, but they can't disprove it either. That's great. I love
Correct.
that.
Yeah, yeah. There's just we don't know. This fits in the realm of we don't know. However,
Okay.
when they are used as part of a ghost hunting TV show, they are almost always 100% completely useless at best, or tampered with in really
Oh,
fraudulent ways at worst, which is surprisingly common. Or
okay. No,
unsurprisingly, really.
the latter, I would say, is unsurprising because you've got to make a show, right? But
Yeah,
it was just by some happenstance that it's just, messing up for whatever reason. That is interesting. That's an
yeah.
interesting coincidence.
There's actually technical reasons
Oh,
why they're
okay.
completely unreliable. So would you like to hear about them?
Yes. And I want to know if they have like A/B testing or like, I will have so many questions. I will let you say things first, though.
Excellent, excellent. So have you ever seen what's known as REM pods?
No, I don't know
REM
what.
pods. Okay. So they're these
No.
little cylinders with lights and they've got a speaker and an antenna. And if you touch it or put your hand near it or go near it, it beeps and the lights start going off. It's basically like a hey, something's moving near me. So the ghost hunters in the TV shows will put it somewhere and use it as evidence that there is a ghost walking past, for
So it's a
instance.
ghost stick. A ghost
Yeah,
stick.
basically.
Okay, great.
Ghost
Okay, good.
stick.
Ghost stick. Great.
Uh, so the REM in REM pod stands for radiating electromagneticity, which is not
Okay.
a real word.
Sure. Like
It
so many
doesn't
things in the realm of ghost hunting, it's not real. Okay,
it
great.
doesn't mean anything. Like it's just a conglomerate of words, but it was invented by an electrical engineer. His name's Gary Galka. He's also
Okay.
the founder of a company called Das Distribution, and they make sound meters, they make humidity temperature
Ah.
meters, they make lasers for medical and aerospace companies. Like this is a legitimate electronic device company that also has a
Mhm.
section that's called paranormal research, and it has things
Oh.
like EMF meters and the REM pod, of course.
I like to think that they have that all of that legitimate side of the business or the more like normie side of the business just to like bankroll all of the supernatural stuff. Or even better if it's the other way around.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think this actually comes from a really wholesome place which is surprising because a lot of the things that you find from the ghost hunting realm or, anything that's designed to connect someone with people that have passed, it's usually a massive grift that's
Uh-huh.
just designed to part people with their money and take advantage of their grief.
It's
But
funny that you say that, Ray, because we'll be exploring that in another episode this month.
excellent, excellent. But he actually started creating these after he lost his daughter in a car crash.
Oh, God.
And him and his family, when they got home from the hospital, like almost immediately started reporting things happening in their house
Mm.
that they believed was the daughter trying to communicate with them. So things like ringing the doorbell and changing TV channels, turning lights on and off. So he wanted to create devices that he believed would let him and other people communicate with spirits and try to
And
get
did
in
he
contact with his daughter.
did he already have that background? Like
Yeah.
in the wow, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
he was already an electrical engineer. So, he was just playing with those electromagnetic fields and creating radiating electromagneticity to try to talk with his daughter. So, when the REM pods, though, get in the hands of ghost hunters, they're going to put them down somewhere, hope that a ghost walks past it, or
Mhm.
ask the ghost to touch it. That you see them on these shows saying, touch the REM pod and tell us that you're here. And
Touch the
then,
ghost stick.
yeah, right, touch the stick. And then they absolutely go wild when it starts
Mm.
beeping and flashing. And they're like, oh, everyone, there's definitely a ghost in this room. The problem that we have is that these devices, they're ridiculously sensitive to radio frequencies.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
any kind of communication waves, like from phones, like cellular communication, all of that,
Yeah.
just basic electronics have been known to set them off. So
Yeah.
when you've got a production crew, you've got hosts with microphones taped to them. You've got sound engineers with their big over ear headphones and all of the little dials that they're playing with from their thing that I can't remember the name of. Please don't get upset with me, sound
Their
engineers.
thingies.
They're your little box thing that you hope doesn't get lost in the plane when we're traveling. You got camera operators. You've got the producer in the corner that's texting people at the next location to make sure that
Mhm.
we're all good. All of this is going off. It's going to set the REM pods off. Yeah, and they can
Yeah.
even be triggered from a fair distance away as well, depending on the model that you're using.
Well, we saw this when we went ghost hunting at the
Yeah.
tube station, Ray, where we didn't have the sticks, but we had like one of those meters. Like you kind of hold it in your
Yep.
hand, you can point it in different directions, and it would light up if there was apparently activity. But all of those waves interfere with
Yep.
it at different points as well. Now, I would argue that there was definitely some weird stuff that happened that night,
Yep.
but a lot of it, it's just like also makes sense when we're all wandering around with phones and recording equipment and
Yeah.
things like that.
And one of the main things we were using on that ghost hunting tour was an EMF reader.
Yes,
So
that's the one.
there is a really long-standing theory for paranormal researchers that there's this correlation between supernatural activity and electromagnetic frequencies. That ghosts and spirits live on some type of plane of existence where they tap into an energy field that we can pick up using these
Mm.
devices. In TV land, EMF is something that's measured as well for all of these shows. They use something that's called an analog tri-field meter, and they are way more sensitive than the EMF readers that we were using. And they can also be triggered by something that the REM pods can be triggered by from a very far distance, and that's a walkie-talkie.
This always comes back to walkie-talkies in this podcast, doesn't it?
Always walkie-talkies. You could be tens, if not 100 meters away from these devices, hit the button on the walkie-talkie like as though you're about to call someone, and it will set all of it off.
Oh my god.
So there are absolutely crew members on these shows outside, nowhere near anything that's going off, just pressing this button and watching what happens.
Yeah, okay. And no one's going to be around to see it because you can be a fair way away. It's a good way
Exactly.
to sabotage things if you
So it's
interesting.
all lies, Tegan, which I think we knew all along, but But I think genuinely though, the weirdest thing about ghost hunting tech is that it's not necessarily designed to be deceptive. It's not really something that fits in that grifter space, because there is a lot that it can pick up that no one has been able to explain yet. It just can't be used to prove anything, and
Yeah.
definitely not on a TV show.
No, and I think it's one of those things that perhaps it would have been a little bit more, or seemed a little bit more legitimate when there was way less tech just in our hands
Yeah.
at all times. So I think the more that we modernize and the more waves that are flying around, the less you can actually rely on it if you were inclined to potentially believe in this kind of thing.
Yeah, I think we're going to need more evidence into the future than some flashing lights and beeping noises.
Yeah. Although, again, as I said, sometimes it's just vibes, though, Ray, because there was some, I don't know, there was some bad vibes on that ghost hunting thing that we went on. I did not like it, and I wanted
Maybe
to
we
get out
need
of there.
to we need to invent a vibe detector.
I like it. I mean, if old mate can make up names of things, we can have a vibe detector.
Absolutely.